right. Okay, everybody. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And again, if you are sitting on a chair and your feet are flat on the floor, just try and be in a parallel position. Just be very relaxed. Hands in the meditation mudra. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching, and raise your sits bones. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And as much as you can, your ears aligned with your shoulders. And then just imagine you have a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine, the coccyx, all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine there is someone above you, behind you, just very gently lengthening your spine. So you're stretching all those muscles along the back, putting some space in between your vertebrae. Now, very, very gently, just tip your head forward. So you want to put a bit of length in the back of the neck there. So you're not kind of collapsing the head down onto your chest, your chin onto your chest. It's just kind of, it's almost like an up and forward. And the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and just relax your jaw. And then just bring the mind to or your attention rather, to the crown of the head, and just relax the scalp, and the forehead, and the eyes, the nose, cheeks, and the mouth area, jaw again. And bring your attention to the back of the head and relax the scalp, and the ears, the inner ear, the temples, back of the neck. And if there's any tension in your shoulders, just release that and allow shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, chest, belly, arms, legs, hands, feet, fingers and toes, and then bring the mind back to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And just take a nice deep breath if you need to. Just relax. But at the same time, just keep lengthening. Keeping the mind focused on the breath. The breath is an excellent concentration tool because it's always there. So, as we've been doing for now quite some time, just bring to mind all the people of your life. So your dear ones, your beloveds, the people that take care of you and look after you. You do that for them. These are the people in your life who you have constructive relationships with. And then there's those people in your life who are difficult for you. And then there's those people in your life who are complete strangers. And I've just spent most of the last 30 hours with thousands of strangers in the airports, on the plane. And each one of those people had lives and loves and problems and happiness. And the thing about the friend, the enemy, and the stranger is that actually they're all deserving of our equal concern. And they can change place at any time. And they're all equal in their wish to be happy, the wish to avoid suffering, and this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation this morning for the benefit of all these people of our life and for all sentient beings. And if there's anyone you can think of in your mind who right now is suffering for some reason, maybe they're past, I think we'll dedicate the merit for them. So we'll just do our 9-round breathing now. So just remembering breathing in through the right nostril, blissful radiant light, pausing at the top of the breath, and then breathe out through the left. Any attachment energy, unhealthy desire, grasping, neediness, wanting things, not feeling enough. And breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke, doing that 3 times. Breathing in through the left, now blissful radiant white light, pausing at the top of the breath, and then breathe out all your anger, disappointments, jealousy, bitterness, grudges. And breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke, and do that 3 times. Then breathing in through both nostrils, blissful radiant white light, pausing at the top of the breath and just breathing out all your ignorance energy, not knowing the way things truly exist, not understanding karma, cause and effect. And breathe that out, do that 3 times. So we'll do this in our own time, 3 sets of 3 as we normally So when you're finished, just bring the mind back to the breath. And if you haven't quite finished yet, don't worry. And just feel. And allow the thoughts to arise and pass by. Try not to cling on to any thoughts or follow any story. Just allow them to flow. Keeping the mind on the breath. And if there's any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. Try not to follow the sound with your mind. Excuse me. And keep bringing the mind back to the breath. So we're going to do now a couple of, maybe 2 or 3 meditations of 4 or 5 minutes each. Just focusing on the breath. And as, as Lamy Yeshe says, we really can't, us Westerners can't really do more than 4 or 5 minutes before we really start to space out. So try not to space out. Feeling good is a nice byproduct of meditation. Relaxation is a byproduct of meditation. But you're really trying to get concentration. So try not to space out. Try not to have the mind wander off. And if it does, just very gently bring it back, keeping the mind on the breath. So we do our first one now. I'll time them. Just the breath. Bring the mind back to the breath. Okay, everyone, just relax. Maybe adjust your position if you need to. Lengthen your spine. Take a nice deep breath. Open your eyes if you need to. Then bring the mind back to the breath again, noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And we'll do another 5 minutes. And really keep your focus. If you notice your mind wandering off, just very gently, don't grab it and bring it back to the breath, just very gently. Once you've noticed you're off on a little story, don't judge, just very gently bring your mind back to the breath. Bring the mind back to the breath. Again, just relax and just feel. Becoming more aware of your environment. Sensation of your sits bones on the cushion, hands in the lap. Maybe the sun has already arisen where you are. Perhaps there's birds singing outside. And just feel. And if you have a busy day, maybe set your motivation before you start moving. Something on the lines of, may I do what is most beneficial? Just something very simple like that. And then you'll notice it will just kind of fall into place. Okay, everyone. Well, Blue, I wish you a very long life. A happy birthday. How old are you? Is that okay?
76.
Whoa, amazing. You're like almost the same age as Venerable Rabina. So, I know we have to go, but so we were planning on going up to Laudo by helicopter, because for Venerable Rabina, it's, she's 78 now. So to walk, we're right here, we're at 65 feet above sea level. And Kathmandu is 4,000 feet above sea level. Namche Bazaar is 9,000 feet. And then, of course, Laudo is 12 to 13,000 feet. So we're kind of climbing quite high. But then when we got to Kopan, it started raining. And there was no way to go anywhere. So there's all these people stuck all over the mountains. There was avalanches happening. There was no helicopters. It was pouring with rain. All the landing pads were closed. So we had to stay at Kopan for another day. And then everybody started coming down with COVID. It was kind of crazy. Not everybody. 4 or 5 people, I think. And then one person got dengue fever. It was it was interesting, but it's interesting because the guide, Amber, who's been working with Venerable Rabina for like 20 years now, said it was one of the most successful pilgrimages. So I'm not exactly, anyway, Venerable Rabina said she wasn't sure exactly what that meant, but she said she trusted his wisdom. But for her, what was so extraordinary to me is we finally did get up. We had to sort of hop all the way up to the mountain. Then the day we were due to get a helicopter from Namche Bazaar up to Mende, which is just below Laudo, it started again pouring with rain. Everything was closed. There was no helicopters going up to the mountains. So Venerable Rabina had to walk. And I am telling you, she walked from Namche Bazaar. It took us maybe 4 hours. At 78 years old, she walked up this incredibly steep hill. We stopped a lot on the way. And Amber, who's the guide, and I'm sure she's teaching this weekend from the Himalayan Buddhist Center in Kathmandu, but she'll probably tell you our guide Amber, basically held her hand the whole way to get her up. It was so sweet, I tell you. But I couldn't believe it. And then when we got there, I thought, oh, good, now we can all have a rest. And Venerable Rabina went and had a rest for I don't know, maybe an hour. And then she said, okay, so we'll have a session at 4 o'clock or something like this. I can't believe it. And I was just like, no, you're kidding. But this is a person who's 78 years old, could hardly breathe, could hardly make it up the hill. And then all she wanted to do was teach. I think we had 2 sessions that day. I can't remember. It's extraordinary. I was really kind of blown away. But anyway, it was very, very inspiring. So I hope to share some photos with you at some point, if you're interested. And maybe I'll try and put something together, and I'll check with the Laudo Trek people to see if that's okay. But I want to say thank you so very much for coming this morning. It's really lovely to see you all. Thank you for coming. You obviously been working very hard while I was away, because your concentration is all very, very good. Thank you for hosting, Mary. Lots of love. I'll see some of you this evening. Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.